These are my actual viewpoints on being trans. I actually tremendously empathize with trans people. And while I don't think that you can change your gender, you genuinely, you can't. Like, it's not biologically possible yet. I'm willing to affirm a person's identity as long as it's the opposite gender. I'm not going to affirm a third identity. I'm not going to affirm a fake gender. But if somebody wants to dress, act, and behave like a female and then, you know, want to be treated that way, I'm willing to play along with that because I just want to have a harmonious society with as little friction as possible. This is what I think. And if you don't think this, I'm not going to make you think this. This is what I think. I have a tremendous amount of empathy for trans people, and the reason why I do is because when I lost my teeth, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I didn't recognize the kind of person that I was, and I hated the way I looked. I hated what I was. I hated the fact that I wasn't where I was in my own mind, and it made me... It created a level of cognitive dissonance between who I believed I was and who I was in the mirror, and it fucked my head up a lot, and it really bothered me. So when I think about the experience that a trans person has, I think about that multiplied by 1,000. And then everything in your whole life is catered around the way that people are interacting with you in this way. So I can empathize with them, and I can see, you know what, whether you actually are the other gender or not, I realize how much pain you must be in and how unpleasant and horrible this must be for you to be put in a body that you feel like isn't your own. So I try to be extremely sympathetic and understanding to these people because I view them as being a victim of circumstance. They're a victim of their own feelings. They're a victim of the way that, you know, they've been born, and they wish it wasn't that way. I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. I empathize with them too, but I think because gender is such a core element that really it's horrible really to imagine what that would be like if you were something that you believe that you weren't. And so, that's generally how I view it. I think that anybody pushing gender ideology and trans ideology on anybody under like 16 is basically a child predator and a groomer, and they should be put in jail. I don't think that you should be able to do any sort of medical intervention to make somebody trans before they're 18. I think that you should be able to do any medical intervention after 18 to be trans. I think it's totally fine. And I don't see a problem with it. So that's actually, like, you want my actual viewpoint on it. That's my actual viewpoint on it. So yeah, there you go. Is that crazy? Like, yeah. Yeah, genuine amount of empathy? Well, no, I'm the most empathetic streamer. People don't know this because they listen. People have selective empathy. They have very selective empathy. I don't. I have deep, great empathy. I don't look at what's good or bad. I look at what's right. And I do what's right. That's it. And humble? I am the most... No. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. And I will always make the right decision for the most people. I do that all the time. So yes. Opinion on women's restrooms in sports? It's actually so simple. Restrooms are based on sexuality and sexual organs. You cannot change a penis into a vagina. You cannot change a vagina into a penis. You can't do it. You can do something that's similar to it, but you cannot 1 to 2 and you cannot 2 to 1. You should be using the gender in my... Actually, this is actually what I think. This might sound like kind of an extreme opinion. I think that a trans... like a woman that transitions to a man should be able to use the men's bathroom, but a man that transitions to a woman should not be able to use the woman's bathroom. Does that make sense? And so, no? Okay. Well, let me explain the reason why. Women's bathrooms are made to protect women. We all agree on that, right? It's to be a safe space for women because women are smaller, weaker, and they can be more easily taken advantage of by a man. Equality? Equality isn't real. I don't care about equality. I care about what's right. So this is the reason I look at it. If you let if you make a woman who has transitioned to a man go into the women's bathroom, you create a cultural expectation of being able to watch a presenting male walk into a women's bathroom. So you're going to have a lot of false negatives rather than false positives, because you could just have a man walk into the woman's bathroom at that point and say that they're trans. So I think only people presenting and identifying as women should be able to go into the women's bathroom that are biologically women. Or sorry, I think only biologically women that present and identify as women should be able to go into the women's bathroom. That's the reason why. Because that, in my opinion, is the option that is the least harm. Does that make sense?